Hi, this is William from greataffordablewatches, and in this video I'm gonna review the Borealis Navale. And this is an upcoming watch from the micro brand Borealis, and the price of this watch is $400 US. But as always, let's start with the specifications. The watch is 43.7mm at its biggest point. The lug width is 22mm. It is 14mm thick to the domed sapphire crystal, and the lug-to-lug length is around 49.2mm. The watch is water resistant down to 300 meters or 30 atm, and it got the Miura 1915 movement. And of course, this watch is made out of bronze, both the case, the bezel, and the crown. This watch got the green dial, which is gradient to black in the edges, and as we can see, it doesn't have that typical round case, it got more of a squared case. I think the green dial together with the bronze case and black PVD bezel insert looks really nice, and it gives this watch a bit of a more playful look while still being pretty understated. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the dial. I think the dial overall is really nicely finished with the sword style hands, and I will of course leave a Lume shot down in the description so you can see how the Lume looks. It got a unidirectional 120 click bezel, which is really solid and very satisfying to turn, and I'm pretty sure that most of you will appreciate this bezel action. It's a bit loose, it doesn't take too much force to rotate it, but it doesn't have any backplay as we can see. So yeah, a really nice bezel action. One thing I really like is that the finish on the case and on the watch overall is really nicely done. You do notice that they have put a little extra work in all the details. So yeah, that's really nice to see from a micro brand. And the crown, for example, is really nicely done. It's very easy to grip. Of course, it's screwed down, and the threading mechanism is really nicely done as well. So it's very easy to screw it back in, and the crown is really nicely done. And I think a nice crown really adds to the watch overall. And as I said in the beginning, this watch comes with the Miura 1950 movement, and I'm really glad that more and more watches comes with this movement instead of the NH35. I am a big fan of the Miura 1950 movement. I think the design is superior to the NH35. I'm a big fan of Seiko overall, but I prefer the Miura 1915 to the NH35. It's nothing wrong with the NH35. That movement is great as well, but I just prefer the Miura. From my experience, the Miura 1915 runs well, it looks really good, and it's thin as well, so that's really nice. And it's also pretty nice to see some competition and a nice movement that micro brands can use instead of the NH35 from Seiko or Seiko movements in general. And the caseback is also really nicely done. I really like a nice solid caseback as well, and especially when it's finished to this degree. Okay, we've talked about all the good things about this watch, so what are the downsides? I can first say that this is a pretty big, pretty thick watch, and it's pretty heavy as well, and I think that's my biggest downside. I prefer smaller and slimmer watches, and the case design as well is a bit different than what I'm usually wearing, so that's a downside for me, but that's of course subjective. I really like it on the wrist. I liked it more than I thought I would, as we're gonna see on my wrist, and the design overall is not for everybody, and the size as well is not for everybody, but of course it's subjective, and overall this is a really nicely done watch. The finishing, as I said, is very high, and you notice that they have put, as I said, a little extra care in all the details, and that the watch got really good finishing overall. So okay, let's do a quick wrist shot so you can see how it looks on my 7-inch wrist. Okay, here it is, and as we can see, it sits pretty well on my 7-inch wrist. It doesn't wear that big thanks to the pretty short lug-to-lug length, as I said before. If this watch would have a round 44mm case, then it would wear a lot bigger. But it's still pretty wearable considering the size, and of course the 44mm diameter is to the thickest or biggest part of the case. So yeah, I really like this watch on the wrist. As I said before, it's not really my type of watch, but I do appreciate the attention to detail and the build quality that this watch got. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you think of this watch, and as I said, I will leave a Lume shot in the description. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you didn't like this video, then leave a dislike, of course. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that as well for more watch related content. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.